So you want to live in Fishers, Indiana, but you don't want to spend over $500,000 on a house. Well, we're going to explore some more affordable homes and neighborhoods so you don't have to. So you definitely want to stick around to see what we find. Welcome to the Discovering Central Indiana YouTube channel. I'm Eric Pels with the Pels Realty Group. And if this is your first time on the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living in Central Indiana, go ahead and subscribe below. My business partner Julie and I, we get calls and texts every single day from people just like you who are looking to make their move to Central Indiana. So whether that's in 9 days or 9 months, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, or set up a Zoom call. So Fishers, Indiana, it's a very desirable place here to live in Central Indiana. It's rated as one of the top places to live here in Central Indiana. And it's A+ rating at for niche.com. It's great for families and it has good schools as well, according to niche.com. But the thing is, housing is expensive, especially here in Fishers, Carmel, Westfield, all that. So are there neighborhoods that can accommodate people who don't want to spend $500,000 plus on a home? Well, let's go ahead and see what we can find. So the first stop on our list today is going to be Brooks Chase, and this is a very expansive neighborhood and community, but the section that we're in, trees, snagging my stuff. Anyway, so this community is very expansive, but the section that we are in right now is actually a little cheaper. When you're looking at prices for the whole community, you're looking at mid to high threes in general. Walking through the community, a lot of what I'm seeing is ranches and 2 stories with mainly just vinyl siding. You'll have some masonry on some of these homes, like the home right over there, you have masonry on the bottom half. But in terms of amenities that are around this community, you have IU Saxony, great hospital, been there many times, not by choice. And then you also have Hamilton Town Center, which is technically in Noblesville, but it's definitely an interesting community, definitely great for first-time home buyers or investors, or even people who are looking to downsize, honestly. And so the home that we're gonna be kind of showcasing today is going to be right here. So it is priced at $316,000, 3 beds, 2.5 baths, and it's just a little over 2,300 square feet. So in this section of the community, a lot of the garages are going to be on the back side of the home. So they're gonna have rear loading garages. In other sections, you're gonna have front loading garages as well. Like I said, this is a very expansive community, but it's also great, like I said, for first-time home buyers, this section is. And you have all types of different varying house styles throughout the whole community, but this section is very cookie cutter. It's the homes were built in the 90s and the early 2000s, and you can definitely see that, just how cookie cutter they are. But at the same time, that's okay.
So driving through the community, I will say it is nice and quiet. It's about 1:50 when I'm filming this. Nice and quiet, which is really great. It's getting to be about springtime, so more and more kids will be coming out and playing when they are not in school, but having a nice quiet community is a big thing for a lot of people. So step number 2 is going to be Woodberry, and Woodberry is directly off of Howe Road, not far from 146 whatsoever. In terms of nearby amenities, you're going to be really close to shopping off of 37. You got car dealerships, a bunch of restaurants, Lowe's, Walmart, all that good stuff. So you're very close to that. You're very close to the Fishers and Noblesville border as well. So driving through this neighborhood, it's definitely a step up from the last neighborhood, the Brooks. The homes, it's a combination of vinyl siding and masonry siding. You do have some homes that are completely vinyl, but there's a lot of similarities in these homes. Some of them are kind of like copied and pasted, if you will, right next to each other. Some have little, porches out in the front, others don't. All of these homes have front loading garages. They're going to be 2-car garages, a combination of ranch style homes, 1 stories and 2 stories. The neighborhood is, I feel like, better kept than the last one. It just is a little nicer. It's a quiet neighborhood. Most of these neighborhoods are going to be nice and quiet, especially right now, because it's, you know, mid-afternoon. People are starting to come home from work and school. You do have, you know, some people out and about, but generally speaking, it's a pretty quiet community, which is nice. You don't have to worry about loud noises or anything like that. The only downside is the roads that it's off of, Howe and 146, can absolutely get busy, especially 146. Just keep that in mind. But good neighborhood, decent neighborhood, good, you know, for a first-time home buyer, or potentially someone who is looking to move up from like that first-time home potentially. It is a small community, maybe 40 homes, maybe a little over 40 homes, but it has a lot going for it. The yards are well maintained. The houses, they are kept up well, but when you get higher and higher in price range, you'll see the homes are kept up a little more. The yards are a little nicer. So that's something that you guys will see as we kind of progress into the next two neighborhoods. In terms of amenities here in this neighborhood, the only thing they have is going to be a playground for your kids. They do, you know, this is a nice wide road that we're driving on right now. They got sidewalks, so you can absolutely walk around the neighborhood, take your dog for a walk. There's no pool. Amenities are pretty sparse, honestly. There, you know, you have a little pond right over here, but other than that, you just don't really have amenities in this neighborhood, and that's to be expected in a lower price range community. And so within pricing, you're looking at low to mid threes. You might get a home in here that is like 400, but it just depends on what the market is willing to bear. But generally speaking, you're going to be low to mid threes in this community.
The third stop on our list is going to be Ashwood. And Ashwood is located off of East 131st Street, right by the Fishers High School and Natatorium, and it's not too far from Highway 37 with all that shopping, car dealerships. You got a ton of stuff going on right there. So this neighborhood has built in the 90s to early 2000s. It is a nice neighborhood. We have a lot of like masonry and vinyl siding on a lot of these houses. There are a lot of similar and common themes in this neighborhood. As you guys can kind of see, you got masonry here on that house, you got masonry on that house as well. So a lot of common themes. When it comes to pricing here in this neighborhood, we're looking at the mid to high threes. And you have honestly, you have a lot of ranges and two stories. It's a very good mixture here. Trees in pretty much all the front yards. Some of these trees are actually starting to bloom, like that one here, because it is the end of March when I am filming this, but it's a very quiet neighborhood, although the trash is being picked up now, so you know you have those noises, but you know it's when most people are at work and at school running errands, whatever, so it's a nice quiet neighborhood. You know, it's mid-afternoon here on a Wednesday afternoon. A little overcast, but it's looking good. You've even got green shingles on that house now. That is not something I have seen before. When it comes to neighborhood amenities, there aren't tons of amenities. The one that I did see is a nice playground for kids back over that direction, but that's pretty much it in terms of neighborhood amenities. You do have some nice ponds throughout the community, which is nice, kind of breaks things up. You do have some common areas as well. Lots of sidewalks, but they are pretty much they're very, very basic amenities, which is to be kind of expected given the price point of this neighborhood.
Our fourth and final stop is going to be Bristols here in Fishers. So this neighborhood is going to be located off of 126th Street and Brooks School Road, and it is just down the street from Brooks School Elementary. So it is a definite nice neighborhood. It is definitely a step up from the first neighborhood, in my opinion. The funny thing is, though, it is literally across the street from Brooks Chase. Now, again, Brooks Chase isn't a bad neighborhood whatsoever. It's just different. So this neighborhood, Bristols, it feels nicer. It feels like there is more. People put more care into how their homes look. For sure, the homes, they are nicer. You got a combination of masonry in the front, and then vinyl siding on the side and kind of throughout the houses. You got nice, sidewalks, a decent, sized road. In terms of pricing with this neighborhood, you're going to be high threes to high fours. It's definitely a nice neighborhood. People are out here walking, enjoying the nice warm fall day, or not fall day, spring day, as it starts to finally warm up here in central Indiana. It takes forever to warm up in the spring, but definitely, I personally really do like all the masonry that I'm seeing. There are some homes that just have vinyl siding throughout all of them, which that's okay, but I like how they're not as cookie cutter. There are a lot of common themes and similarities, but it's not like you're copying and pasting each home next to each other where it's the same style and whatnot. So most of these homes are going to have front-loading garages. Definitely very nice. Some are 3-car garage. You're going to have a combination of 1 stories and 2 stories. A majority are going to be 2 stories. And generally speaking, the age of these homes, they're going to be built in the 90s to early 2000s. So these homes are over 20 years old, 20 to 30 years old. And this community does have a clubhouse. It's got a pool, it's got a basketball court, lots and lots of sidewalks to walk on. In terms of nearby amenities, you're going to be right by Hamilton Town Center. So a lot of these communities, as you guys have seen, have been right by Hamilton Town Center. So in Fishers, that's kind of where some of the cheaper neighborhoods are going to be, right by Hamilton Town Center, very close to the Noblesville border. Now, of course, you'll have pockets that with some cheaper neighborhoods, but generally speaking, the cheaper neighborhoods are going to be somewhat closer to Hamilton Town Center, closer to that Noblesville Fishers border. But then again, you're also going to have some really expensive homes in this general area as well.
So those were the 4 neighborhoods that had more affordable homes. Definitely, as we went up in price, the nicer the neighborhoods got. Now, granted, I will say a lot of the neighborhoods are very similar, and that's just the reality of things when you are in that kind of price point. The homes look very similar. Not tons and tons of different amenities either. And as you are looking at more affordable homes and neighborhoods, you really have to decide and pick and choose what is important to you. Is it going to be really nice neighborhood amenities with pools, clubhouses, tennis courts, basketball courts, all of that? If they have that stuff, you're going to be most likely in a more expensive community. But what's important to you guys is that actually owning the home, a good quality home that you don't have to fix up that much, or is it going to be the amenities, or how much fixing up are you willing to do with a home? Because when we're in a lower price point, there's a good potential you'll have to do some work after you purchase the home. So it's stuff to be aware of. Homes are not as cheap as they once were even 10 years ago. You could get into Fishers for, let's say, $250. Now it's a lot more than that. So that's the unfortunate thing with the supply and demand issue that we currently have throughout all the US. And then talking about affordable homes, well, what is actually affordable? So currently the median price here in Fishers is going to be $455,000. Anything under that is going to be considered more affordable, and most of the homes, or in neighborhoods, I should say, instead of homes, most of the neighborhoods are going to be the low to mid 3s that we were looking at. The last neighborhood, Bristols, that was going to be a little more expensive in the mid, or I should say the high 3s to high 4s. But again, it just depends on what you're looking for. What features do you want the house to have? Do you want to have to fix stuff after the fact, or do you want something that's going to be move-in ready? The move-in ready stuff is going to be more expensive. Not saying it's impossible to find in that price point, but it's going to take a little more searching and looking. So that was our tour, vlog, whatever you want to call it, of 4 affordable neighborhoods here in Fishers. Comment below what neighborhood was your favorite. And remember, if you're looking to move in 9 days or 9 months, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, or set up a Zoom call.